put a circle of rocks around each one of them, so I know where it's supposed to be. They don't know where they're supposed to be, so I, it's calling them out, and I'll just keep listening. I didn't this year, she's coming this year.
This is still small, shire version. There are sections, and it can be very difficult sometimes to find
So, yesterday I bought 2 fish.
our purpose is our purpose.
Our purpose. In front of you were I don't want to smoke her, so I'll be honest. What happened? I'm finding out the intolerant.
This is all set for sliding. Oh, I'm going to remove one of the announcements from here. We do not have women's speech
Very
with me
nice to
today.
meet you. No, I forgot it was Memorial Day weekend.
Mostly works. It's, yeah, I mean, it's still not 100%. It's still Whether you're here in person or you're joining us from at home, it's wonderful for us to be together. Let's take a moment now to center our minds and our hearts for worship with words by the Reverend Katie Romano Griffin. Come, let us enter this space of hope and community. Come, let us enter this space with our sorrows, our joys, our passion, and compassion. Come, let us enter this space with the stories of our ancestors, for their strength and wisdom beats in our hearts. Come into this space present to the beloved companions who move beside us. Come into this space mindful that together we are building a future for other generations. Come into this space and let us worship.
It is time to light our chalice. Would someone like to come up and light the chalice for us? Oh, we got two chalices. Yeah, we're good. We're good now. Today's chalice reading is by Pat Ubribe Leichty. The chalice we light today is a symbol of our faith. It binds us together as one people. A reminder that our strength is in our shared hope for the world and that our common work is the creation of beloved community among ourselves and in the world. Join me now in the affirmation. We'll stand as you're able and we'll repeat the words after me. These are by James Vila Blake. Love is the spirit of this fellowship. And service is its law. This is our great covenant. To dwell together in peace. To seek the truth in love. and to help one another. Thank you. Let's sing together. Is anybody a junior worship helper here? I don't think so. They're all playing. Okay. So we'll sing together. The hymn is 362, and it's on our screen. Harris, and I'm your worship associate today. Welcome to the Morristown UU Fellowship. We welcome regulars, newcomers, anyone just shopping church. We're very happy you're here, and those who are online as well. Today is a somewhat unusual Sunday morning for us. Today we'll be exploring the third of our Congregational's open questions. It's an opportunity for us to collect and discern what we all believe and think. So the third question is, what does it mean to be welcoming? We'll explore this by song, story, reflection. We're in a community of many ages, and we all worship together online, in the sanctuary, and in many of our rooms, we have a live stream. If anybody, I'm not sure if anyone would need the family room, but if you feel like getting up and being in a different room that's very mod and cool, go out and to the right. That's our family room. It's family friendly, and it's fun to check out. And there's childcare as well upstairs and to the at the top of the stairs if you need childcare. Again, welcome. We're glad that you're here.
Today I'm going to tell Amira's Porpoise by Chrissy Buschjager, a story about a girl who is searching for a porpoise. And I'm wondering, do we happen to have any children at all here today? Wait, I spotted one, spotted a couple. So if you would like to come up for the story, you are welcome to come up. If you prefer to sit down there and hear it from up here, that is okay too. All right, so this story, again, is about a girl named Amira and her porpoise. And you may know that porpoises are kind of like dolphins. They're a smaller, shyer version of a dolphin in a way. And porpoises can be kind of difficult sometimes to find out in nature. And porpoises are just really wonderful animals. And porpoises are just...
Reverend Sasha, it's our questions of what's our mission. It's about our purpose.
Purpose.
Our purpose.
Purpose,
Yeah.
not porpoises.
Right. It's purpose.
Well, this is the only story I prepared today.
Well,
so do we think we could maybe try it out?
there is no try.
There is only do. There's only do.
So
All right.
give it a shot.
My mission is to make this story work. All right, so there was a girl named Amira, and Amira absolutely loved porpoises. She loved porpoises so much that she decided one year she was going to ask for a porpoise for her birthday. And so her birthday rolled around, and she made it very clear to her mom and her dad and to her grandparents that she really, really wanted a porpoise. Birthday rolled around. Had a wonderful party, wonderful cake, all kinds of wonderful presents from friends and family, but the end of the day came, no porpoise at all. So she came to her parents and she said, I really love the gifts you gave me, but I'm kind of wondering, why didn't I get a porpoise for my birthday? And her parents said, oh, honey, we can't give you a porpoise. That's something that you need to find on your own when you're older. And she was like, no, I didn't say purpose. I said porpoise. And her parents said, oh, well, honey, you can't have a porpoise. That's a wild animal. So she goes to her grandma next, and she says, Grandma, I really love the presents you gave me. They were absolutely wonderful, but I'm kind of wondering, why didn't you get me a porpoise for my birthday? That's what I asked for. And Grandma says, I can't give you a purpose, honey. That's something that you need to figure out for yourself. Every person has to figure that out for themselves when they get older. And she said, I didn't say purpose, Grandma. I said porpoise. And Grandma says, oh, well, you can't have a porpoise, honey. Those belong in the ocean. So she was a little disappointed. She's scratching her head. She's wandering around. She's going, why did they misunderstand what I meant when I said that I wanted a porpoise? Why did they think I meant purpose instead? And what is a purpose? What is this whole thing? Why are they thinking all about purpose? And she kept asking herself that question for years to come. And she went to all the people in her life that were wise. She went to her teachers, she went to some of her friends, to their parents, maybe even went to her pastor, and she asked them, what is a purpose? And they told her, a purpose is something that is like your personal mission in life. It's what you think that you are here to be doing, the reason you exist. There's something maybe that you exist to be doing in the world. And she said, well, how do I find a purpose? And they said, well, your life experiences will help you to find your purpose. And one way that you can find your purpose is by contemplating the things in your life that you really love and figuring out a way to use the things you love to help make the world a better place. And so for many years after that, she kept thinking about that. She no longer asked for a porpoise for her birthday or for a purpose, but she kept thinking about, well, what is my purpose? What might my purpose be? And when she grew up and she started thinking about this question, she came to an answer that ended up actually being connected to porpoises, because she realized she really loved porpoises and she really loved nature. And her grandma and her parents were right that a porpoise belongs in the ocean. It is a wild animal and it needs to live in the ocean and be safe and happy there. And so she decided to devote her life to conservation efforts so that she could help make porpoises safe and healthy out in the wild. And so this is going to bring us around to our first reflection question. And I'm going to just skip ahead in my script a little bit. All right, so here's how this is going to work. Under your chairs or in the chairs in front of you, you're going to have some cards and some writing utensils. And go ahead, please, and raise your hand if you do not have 3 index cards. You should have a green, red, and blue index card. And if you don't have a pencil, and Sue will go ahead and bring those to you if you are raising your hand. Now, for this first question, you are going to want to use the green card. And it's important that you use the correct card color because this is going to help our committee on ministry later figure out which answers go with which questions. So, for this one, you're going to use your green card, and up here on our screen is going to be our first reflection question. You also have a cheat sheet in front of you with all the reflection questions as well. And we're going to have 4 minutes to reflect on this question quietly and to jot our thoughts down on that green card. So here is the first question. It is, again, on our green card. Sometimes when we think about purpose or mission, we think about what we should do. And it can start to feel pretty joyless. But Frederick Buechner once said that mission is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. And just as each person can use what we love to make our world a better place, so can our congregation. So where do we find joy here at Morristown UU? And if you don't know what brings this congregation joy, as the whole community deep gladness, then what brings you joy here in this congregation personally? And how can that joy be used to help make the world a better place? And so we're going to take 4 minutes now to reflect quietly on this question and jot down the thoughts on the card. If we have any parents here among us, it is okay to talk quietly with your kids during this to help them participate fully. We'll go ahead and take those 4 minutes now. And now it's time for our milestones and passages. Sometimes we come to the sacred space with a lot on our hearts. Maybe you got married, perhaps you lost a job, or maybe you recovered from an illness, or perhaps you're going through a divorce. And whatever your age, you can share your joys or your sorrows in our service by filling out our milestones and passages form before 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. That form can be found in our newsletter, and we also have paper forms that are located on the table on your way through our doors into the sanctuary. And we have a few milestones and passages to share today, so please respond after each by saying we hold you in our hearts. And if you are joining us online today, go ahead and participate in our chat or our comments. This Memorial Day weekend, we remember all of those in our armed services who lost their lives in war. And we lift up our hopes for a future free of armed conflict. And finally, we hold in our hearts all of those who today are mourning loved ones who were victims of war, soldiers and civilians alike. We hold you in our hearts. This morning, it is with sadness that I share the news that Joan Sullivan died this past Friday. This morning, we hold her daughter Jen and all who love Joan in our hearts during this time of grief. We hold you in our hearts. And this morning, Nan Perigo and Kendall Martin are proud to announce that their eldest, June Perigo, just graduated cum laude with a Bachelor in Fine Arts from William Patterson University. Go, June! We hold you in our hearts. Let's go ahead now and take a quiet moment for the prayers and meditations of our own hearts. This is a time to close your eyes, get comfy in your chair, focus on your breath. Hear the breaths of the people around you, this community that is holding you. Feel the spirit of life holding all of us in this still moment together. Let's take 3 deep breaths together and then a moment of silence. Amen and blessed be. Now let's go ahead and please remain seated as we sing number 1003, Where Do We Come From?
Are from Simple Church by Tom Rainier and Eric Reiger. There are a lot of Emmanuel churches. There's probably one in your community. Some spell it with an E, some spell it with an I, and some people are really proud how they spell it. This story about Emmanuel Baptist Church in Glasgow, Kentucky. Emmanuel Baptist Church is vibrant and growing. In the last 2 years, the church has doubled in attendance from 150 to 300. Guests are coming regularly. Emmanuel is also different because Emmanuel is simple. Tony Cecil is the pastor of Emmanuel Baptist Church. When Tony arrived in Glasgow, he knew the church needed a simple process for discipleship. He gathered a group of leaders in his church, and they sought to define what kind of disciple they would seek to make at Emmanuel. They concluded that fully committed believers would be intimate with God and other Christians and people who grow in their faith and are servants in the kingdom of God. Tony and the group chose to describe their discipleship focus as a process. They called it connecting, growing, serving. First, Emmanuel seeks to connect people to God and others. They desire to see people who are connecting believers. Next, they challenge connecting believers to become growing believers by engaging in opportunities for deeper spiritual growth. Finally, the process ends with growing believers, committed to becoming serving believers. To promote movement through the process, Emmanuel has placed their weekly programs at the key points along their process. They use their Sunday morning worship service to make connecting believers. The worship service is designed to bring people into relationship with God and other Christians. After someone comes to the worship service, the person is encouraged to plug into an adult Bible fellowship. Emmanuel offers these fellowships on Sunday mornings to make growing believers. The process does not end there. Once an adult attends an adult Bible fellowship, the person is challenged to join a smaller group, and these smaller groups are designed to help people become serving believers. Each adult Bible fellowship is made up of several smaller groups. These groups are serving teams and do ministry together, either in their community or in the church. Emmanuel strategically moves adults from worship services to Bible fellowship to small groups. Moving people from program to program, people naturally progress through the simple process. Everyone uses the same terminology: connect, grow, serve. It's simple. It's woven into every part of the church. They have chosen to focus all their energy and resources on this simple process. Some would think their focus would hamper the vitality of the church. Tony once remarked, "The irony is that we have actually grown numerically and spiritually by doing fewer programs and special events and choosing instead to focus our attention on moving people with various levels of commitment to deeper levels of commitment." So this brings us to our second reflection question. So Emmanuel Church uses 3 words to describe their mission: connecting, growing, serving. So if we're asking you to describe what you're working to accomplish here at Morristown, using 3 or 4 words, what would those words be? What would be our mission? So we'll take some minutes to reflect on that and jot down your thoughts. You'll use the pink or hot pink card, yeah. Yeah, use the pink card. Now is the time for us to offer our financial support to the fellowship to support our mission. Your donations are split with the wider community, and this week we're sharing our plate with Black Lives Matter Morristown. They were founded in Morristown, but they serve the entire Morris County and their people. You can give them the collection plate, or you can follow the directions in the order of service, or they're on the screen as well. Thank you for your generosity.
Our final reflection piece is a call from the past, present, and future by the Reverend Tanya E. Marquez. From the heights of the Andes, the jungle, and the desert, from the depths of the sea, from a time that was, from a time that stretches beyond our memory, we are called. Our histories stretch back to the first people, the first steps, the collision of worlds, to abrupt beginnings, all wanderers of this land. We have inherited the unfinished labor of our ancestors, of those that came before us. We are called to continue the work. The voices of our people call us now. The world harbors their joys and their sorrows. We hear the cries of our people demanding justice. In that call, we recognize the voices of those who wander in the desert, the border crossers, the navigators, the justice seekers, the dreamers, and the hopeful. We weave our story of our ancestors right here, right now. We are in the midst of responding to the call that comes from all corners of this land, from the south, the north, the east, and the west. We are called to sustain the work. The voices of those who will be call us, a reminder of who we need to be. In the weaving of our story to the web of life, we must remember that we must not cut our strings, for there are others coming after us, others with tender hearts or strong wills, with creative determination, those who will live in the house of tomorrow. Their vision escapes us, yet we are called to prepare the road, to leave behind possibility and foundations upon which they'll build a better tomorrow. We are called to create new opportunities. Reverend Marquez's reading encourages us to remember the work that those who came before us set out to do, to sustain it and to create new opportunities. Now, according to our bylaws, our purpose, our earlier purpose, our mission, as a congregation is to promote the fellowship of those who, because of belief in human dignity or reverence for God or adherence to the teachings of the great spiritual leaders or for other reasons esteemed by the individual conscience, are dedicated by fostering liberal religious attitudes and living, and to further the following principles: individual freedom of belief, discipleship to advancing truth, the democratic process in human relations, and recognition of the bond that joins all people. Now, more recently, reflecting on our congregation's extensive input into the vision statement of our 2022 strategic plan, the board adopted an unofficial interim mission statement to guide us in our ministries. That interim mission statement is to nurture a spiritual home where all are welcome and encouraged to participate in a universal search for truth and meaning while working together to build a fair and peaceful world. Now, for this next reflection, you are invited to turn to the person next to you and share your thoughts with each other on the following question. Are there any parts of either mission statement that especially resonate with you? Are there parts in either of them that do not speak to you? And is there anything missing from either statement? And there's a sheet showing those mission statements, so that'll be helpful to you in this one because we can't fit the whole thing up here. But here's the shorter question. So let's go ahead and take 4 minutes to reflect together now. We'll signal you halfway through so you'll know when it's time to change partners if one person speaks for the first minute, a couple minutes. All right. So there'll be lots of time to continue the conversations after the service. But for now, we need to rein it back in. So we have time for our last reflection question. All right. So we're going to take just one more period now of silence in which we're going to write your responses down on your last piece of your last card. And this one will be on your blue card. And the question is, what is the mission of the Morristown Unitarian Universalist Fellowship? What do we as a congregation exist to do in this particular time in our world? There is much work that needs to be done in the world in this time, but what is this congregation's unique work? And go ahead and take 4 minutes to jot your thoughts down. You do not need to formulate a mission statement. This is more just kind of thinking more narratively, perhaps.
let us join together in song. We're going to be singing Building Bridges. Right? Yeah.
Let's go ahead and rise in body and spirit.
Before we close, I'd like to highlight a couple of our events in the Minutes from Ministry. This morning, we have newcomers. Oh, wait, let me start again. Sorry. Any newcomers who are here with us today, we encourage you to fill out a newcomer card and get connected with us. You can also talk to a welcome ambassador who'd love to meet you. They are wearing a gold sash, and that's Donna. She's right there, super friendly. Talk to her. She likes to talk. If you need a caring, compassionate ear today and would like to talk to someone confidentially, you can talk to one of our lay pastoral care associates, and that is Janet. She's there emoting and listening. Say hi. Next Sunday, we have it's a special day at our fellowship. We'll have a flower communion. So bring a flower. It's a way to express our beauty as a community, to come together with a flower. We'll also be welcoming some new members, new member recognition, and honor our volunteers. So please come. After the service, we'll have our annual congregational meeting at 11:30. That'll be in Chew Hall, and that's where we'll be voting on our budget for next year, as well as other things. And we invite you to learn more about our budget at an information session on Tuesday on Zoom. If you enjoyed exploring our open questions, our third open question, what does it mean to be welcoming, and would like to explore it again?
What is our mission?
Oh, yeah. Maybe our mission is to be more clear and focused and accurate. So it's something to work toward. So, yeah, it's a purpose or a porpoise, you know. So you're welcome to join us here for our Porpoise Talk on Saturday, June 7th from 10 to 11 a.m. Today after the service, we have some events. Newcomer welcoming gathering. They're going to meet in the family room at 11:30 for any new or near new visitors. If you'd like to know more about the fellowship. And following that at 12:30, there's a prospective member lunch. So if you're considering signing the book and becoming a formal member of the fellowship, welcome, and you'll get some vittles too. So we have more information on our website, muuf.org.
Yeah, at this time, we open the floor to any announcements from the floor. And we have actually a lot of time, so I won't even put a time limit on it.
The Endowment Committee has been updating its records for those of you who have pledged a gift after your demise. And we are way behind. You might have seen the article that Janet posted in the e-blast. We had a link to the form to be filled out, but unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, the link didn't work. So I have copies of the form if anyone would like to fill this out and leave it with us. And those who pledge $5,000 in their estate planning will get their name on a brass plaque on the plaque that is now in the terrace room. So, any questions, please ask. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jean Kraft, and on behalf of the board for the annual meeting, it will work similar to last year in that you'll come in, we will check you off, and you will receive 3 paper ballots for the 3 votes that are going to happen at the annual meeting. You have the opportunity, if you are not going to be here, to have a proxy, and that proxy comes in 2 forms. One is a proxy that you would submit that you would check off what your votes are going to be, and then the board will just carry those votes through. The other way to proxy is to select somebody to vote for you, and in that case, if you are the proxy, you will receive the cards for the person that you're the proxy to, and their names will be checked off that way. So come to the annual meeting if you can. And if you can't, please fill out a proxy form. Thank you.
I believe the form is outside the meeting room. The proxy form is just outside.
Yes, so we'll have extra copies for people who just can't stay until the annual meeting after the service. But you can turn them in there. There'll be people at the desks collecting them.
All right. Earlier than I expected, it is time for us to bring our worship to a close. And although we extinguish our chalice flame, its light will continue to burn in our hearts. And as we go out into our daily lives, I leave you with the words of the Reverend Gordon B. McKeeman. Wisdom, fundamentally, is knowing who you are, where you are, and what you're trying to do or be. Amen. Blessed be, and go in peace. And we were actually supposed to collect those during the closing hymn. So we're going to go ahead and give them to me and you're on your way out the doors. Yeah, that'll be great. Thank you.